Hi everyone, emmy-lou here. Today I want to show you a humpback whale. I think it would be really cool. Decided it would be nice to show you a parrot. So I painted a parrot with my little drips, which I kind of want to show you today if I can. I think I'm going to give it a go. And then I painted a stork. It's so much fun, just painting for no particular reason, just doing it because you find it fun. So pencil, paper, let's go. We're going to do humpback whale. So it's not a killer whale, although I wouldn't mind drawing that at some point. I think I'll do that as well. But it's a humpback whale for now. So all you need to do, we're going to do a shape that looks like a very odd eye. So think about drawing an eye. That's pretty much what it is. So think about, if you have a look at my eye like that, that's all it is. It's like an eye shape. We're going to rub out as well, so don't worry. So we're going to do an eye shape. Then you want to do this. You want to touch that bit there and you want to go up, and then you're going to touch just a bit here and go up. So it's like you're creating, almost like you're about to do a triangle, but not. Okay, right, this is what makes it look cool. So we're going to do la la la. You don't really need to do them that wide, so it's okay. If you sort of think, oh, I don't like that, don't worry. Now at the end, I want to do this. They're like little roundy bits, can you see? They remind me of hooks, but they're not. Just trying to see what I've got there for the colours. Okay, so now you want to do this. You want to find the middle of that. So normally I would touch that, go up without pressing down. Do not press down, just float and do a V. So float and do a V. Then you want to do this. Down and up. Down and up. So it's almost like you can do your tail any way you like, but I just think it looks kind of cool like that. Now what you want to do is find out whereabouts you want the, it's quite a long one as well. It's the flipper. I think it's a flipper, fin, it's a fin. So you want to do this, rainbow. It's quite big. This animal is huge. So you want to go out. I'm going to go out quite a bit actually, because it is quite a large fin. Then you go out, 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 and then around to do a roundy bit. Doesn't matter if it's not completely rounded, because humpback whales tend to be quite bobbly. They've got all bobbles on them. So now you want to touch just that bit there of the eye, and you want to go like that. And then when you get to about here, just use your eye to sort of find out where it might be. You're going to go down like that. So as long as you've got straight line or wobbly line, and then try and get it and just practice it. If it doesn't look right, do it again if you can. Now he's got this really cool big eye. So rainbow, upside down rainbow, line, line. You can do any eye. You don't have to do an eye like this, but just kind of looks cool. So once you've done that, we're going to do some lines. So he's got some lines here, because it's the underneath of his mouth. So we've got some lines there. He's got a lot of those wobbly growths on his wing. So you can just have a bit of fun adding those in. Think of them like spots almost. Just add them wherever you like. He's got quite a few actually, but we don't want to add too many maybe, but then you've got a little triangle-y bit there. Now if you wanted to, you could make him have more of a flat back. I might do that for you just in case you wanted to. So what you could do is you touch this bit here and you just go more straight, and then just kind of get to about there. It doesn't really matter too much. It's whatever your eye looks like it's right, if that makes sense. Then you get your rubber and you just rub out what you originally drew. And I don't know about you, but I always rub out when I do art. Because that's all part of life, really, making mistakes. So if you do maths and you make a mistake, you might rub it out and start again, or you show you're working out. So I feel that with my artwork, if I do something I don't like, I can just rub it out. You can still see it normally, but I just rub it out and it's okay, I've learned from it. Or it's a guideline, so it's awesome. Now, what you could do is rub out inside here as well. Okay. Ooh, now when it comes to this bit, let's rub out whatever's inside his lovely little, I've forgotten what it's called again. What is his, oh, I reckon you're telling me what it is, I just can't hear you. Well, let's just rub it out anyway. Right, let's do some little fishies. So I always do things like this. Rainbow, 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 like upside down rainbow. And just like that. If you don't like that look because it looks a bit babyish, you could do tails like that. Or, I don't think it matters really. It's a shoal of fish. So it's a group of fish. And you can have fun decorating it. Normally it would be a sardine, I think, something along those lines. So you could do the little heads. And then you don't really have to decorate them, do you? But if you want, you can. It's these little friends. Okay. So you could do him, it reminds me of Moby Dick. Have you seen that book? Where he rescues a whale, I think. I haven't actually read it, I don't think. I can't remember. So now you've done your fish, you could, if you want, create more bobbly bits on him, because it always looks nice. I'm trying to look at the picture I'm copying. I don't know if you need to, though. I think what would be kind of cool on the background is, I wonder if I've got any paint that actually works. This is black paint. No, I wouldn't mind doing that drip effect. But I'm not sure if we should. Do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just do it. Right, so I'm going to get some light blue paint. A little bit worried. I'm going to go from the top, and I'm just going to drip. So I'm keep getting more water, keep getting more water. You need quite a bit of water, and it might be hard to do it because your paper might be thin. If you're scared of ruining your drawing, you don't need to do this. You could do this and then draw. So this could be your background, and then you draw the actual picture over it once it's dry. You could try that if it's a bit too scary. But I quite like doing things that might turn out wrong because it's good to see if it doesn't or not. Because 9 times out of 10, it normally looks pretty cool. That's not really dripping all the way down, but I quite like that effect. Oh, I like it. I like it. So I'm going to go over it with a watery brush. So this is my watery brush. I'm just going to go over it. He looks like a cool stripy whale now. So I'm just going over this. I'm doing this because it just looks quite interesting. No other reason. I just quite like the look of it. Now when you get to this, I'm just going to go over it because I don't really want him to look stripy, if I'm honest. It's not really the look I'm going for. So I'm just mixing it in. With this, you could literally just get a normal colour pencil and start colouring it in. Don't feel that you need to do what I'm doing. This is just a different technique you might want to use. There's another technique where you make the paper wet. You might want to do it with a big piece of card or something thick. So you make the paper wet, then you get the blue. And can you see how it drips? It kind of has its own, I don't know, I love it. I love the way it just drips and has its own journey. It's like it finds its own way down the page. It kind of looks quite cool. So have a go at doing that on a scrap piece of paper if you want. But you'd have to wait for it to dry to then colour it in. So I can't use oil pastel now because I've made all of it wet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to paint it. So if you've got normal pencils, what you want to do is we're going to start with a bit of black. So you want to colour all of that black, and mine's dripping, which I quite like if I'm honest. I think it looks quite cool. So what I'm doing, I'm going to go over my eye because it's watery, my black, so I can still see my eye, so it's fine. I actually really like that effect. I'll probably go over it so it you don't have that effect just for the sake of this project, but if it was a different project I'd probably keep it actually. But can you see that I'm using black, but there's different types of black. There's a watery black that looks lighter, and then there's a darker black because I haven't put as much water, but it's still the same black. Just depends how much water I put on it. Much like watercolour pencils, because if you put a lot of water on watercolour pencils, it comes out really light. And if you only put a little bit, it comes out really dark. So here, I've got hardly any water and it's really dark, isn't it? I probably wouldn't normally paint this. I think I'd like to pastel it. I think also if you go over some of the lines, it looks kind of cool. Just because he's not straight, is he? He's got all these bobbly bits on him, so it's fine if it's really not as neat as you think it should be. Now this bit's black as well. Oh, it's kind of dark, isn't it? It doesn't have to be completely black. I'll just do a little bit more black there. Right, okay, so now I'm going to outline a little bit of black because I need to get clean water, if I'm honest. I want to get white, because this has to be really cool white. And I'm doing it in strokes like that, so you can see that this is going this way rather than up and down. So go the way that the actual whale is. He's got a bit of white there as well, hasn't he? Got a bit of white there. You can have quite a lot of fun painting this. Because once it's finished, you can, I think I just put paint all over my computer, which is not what really I wanted. Once you've finished painting it, you can go over it with a black fine liner or something. Or a coloured pencil or something, you can go over it and just add what you like. Quite like to put some bubbles. So a couple of spotty bits will be fine. Let's have a look, got some there. He's got quite a few, but we can add it when it's dry maybe. It's got a real white bit there as well. I think to make things stand out, you have to add all the detail bits in. Now I'm going to use my tiny brush, but what you could do is when yours is dry, whatever you're using, you can then add the details in, because I would then draw in, but it's hard because everything's wet still for me. But I could draw in the lines. And I'd hope to do it a lot thinner, but it's super tricky. I think he is quite dark. I'm going to do it quite wobbly bobbly because he's got some pattern on there, isn't he? Okay, you can just carry on and on. I'd probably, there's no white there really on him. I'd like to add some bits there. So I think it's quite nice to just add things. I don't know if you can see it because it's the light shining on my one, but I think he probably needs quite a little bit of black. I would say I feel more comfortable colouring it in an oil pastel, because paint for me is just a base coat, and then once I've done the paint, to finish it, I normally let it dry, then I go over it. But we don't have that luxury today because I want to show you the finished bit. So I'm just adding a bit of black here and there. I wonder if you've seen a whale in real life? Because I don't think I have. I've seen a sea lion in the wild. No, I saw a, what was it? That was gorgeous. I can't remember what you call it. Let's say, I think it might have been a big otter or a sea. It might have been a sea. I don't know. I think it was a large. It might have been a sea lion. It had its baby with her, and it was just so lovely. It really was beautiful to see. It was in Canada. Absolutely amazing. And she kind of went upriver to get the fish, and then she ended up sort of swimming around. This bit's going to be darker. It's hard for you to see because it's shining from my light that I've got. But as long as you've got something like that, I think it looks quite nice like that, if I'm honest. So we're just going to smudge it in, blend it in a little bit. Blend, blend, blend. Quite like using my fingers sometimes. I wonder if I could. Oh, there we go. That's quite nice like that. But we need the mouth. The mouth's basically here. That's where the mouth is. That's your mouth. Ta-da! So have a go. Have a little bit of fun doing that. See what you can make. Because it kind of looks quite nice. A really nice whale to do, and then you could do your awesome fishes. I mean, you don't have to do them orange. Most of them are probably quite silvery, aren't they? Like a sardine. We'll do some red ones. It's quite fun to do it any colour you like. I do like a red one. So you could do red and yellow. Would be nice, wouldn't it? A little bit of. There we go. Some of the little fishies. I like that. So, there we go. There's your humpback whale. If you want to let it dry, if you're doing paint and go over it, obviously you can. And you can put all the details in because it's quite tricky to do when it's wet with the paint. But yeah, have some fun doing that. And I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to do... I might do a dog, I think, will look really cool. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow. Happy drawing, subscribe and share, and enjoy.